Daily Dose of English presents Daily English Idioms. Part 81.
Like greased lightning. Meaning: a phrase meaning to move or happen very quickly. Examples: he got the job done like greased lightning. I was so impressed. The news spread like greased lightning. Everyone was talking about it in minutes. She finished the project like greased lightning. It was amazing to watch. A stitherum. Meaning: a phrase used to describe a trivial argument or dispute. Examples: we had a stitherum about the most trivial thing. It was so silly. It was just a stitherum. We were both too stubborn to give in. It was a stitherum that got out of hand. I never thought it would become so serious. Take offline. Meaning: a phrase meaning to take a conversation or discussion away from a public forum or platform, often to a private setting. Examples: we need to take this conversation offline before it gets out of hand. We decided to take the discussion offline and deal with it in private. I asked him to take the issue offline so we could talk more privately. Be as good as your word. Meaning: a phrase meaning to follow through on a promise or commitment. Examples: I always try to be as good as my word. I make sure I keep my promises. He was as good as his word and did what he said he would. She always tells the truth. She's as good as her word. A soft spot. Meaning: a phrase meaning to have a fondness for someone or something. Examples: I have a soft spot for animals. I can't resist helping them when I see them in need. She always had a soft spot for the underdog. She always rooted for them. He has a soft spot for his old car. He's kept it in great condition all these years. Winning ways. Meaning: a phrase used to describe someone who is popular, successful, and pleasing to others. Examples: she quickly gained a reputation for her winning ways. He has a great attitude and winning ways. It's no wonder he's so successful. His winning ways have made him a favorite with the customers. Bite someone's head off. Meaning: a phrase used to describe someone who responds harshly or angrily to another person. Examples: when I asked her for help, she bit my head off. I didn't mean to make him angry, but he just bit my head off. She always bites people's heads off if they make a mistake. It's so unpleasant. Shanks Pony. Meaning: a phrase used to describe traveling by foot. Examples: I had to use Shanks Pony to get to work. The bus was running late. We decided to take the scenic route and use Shanks Pony instead of the car. We'd have been quicker if we'd have used Shanks Pony instead of the bus. Learn to walk before you run. Meaning: a phrase used to advise someone to master the basics of something before they attempt more difficult tasks. Examples: you need to learn to walk before you run. Don't try to take on too much too soon. He was advised to learn to walk before he ran. He wasn't ready to take on the advanced tasks. It's important to learn to walk before you run. It's the only way to ensure success. Stick in one's throat. Meaning: a phrase meaning to be difficult to accept or to feel wrong about. Examples: The thought of working with him again stuck in my throat. It's a difficult decision, but I'm going to have to swallow it. It sticks in my throat, but I have no choice. His behavior stuck in her throat. She couldn't bring herself to forgive him. Turn a deaf ear. Meaning: a phrase meaning to ignore something, usually a request or suggestion. Examples: he turned a deaf ear to my suggestion. He didn't even consider it. She turned a deaf ear to my plea for help. She just ignored me. He turned a deaf ear to their requests. He was determined to go his own way. Go over your head. Meaning: a phrase meaning to go to a higher authority or person in order to resolve a problem or gain approval. Examples: I'm sorry, I can't help you. You'll have to go over my head. We went over her head to get the project approved. I didn't get the answer I was hoping for, so I decided to go over his head. At a snail's pace. Meaning: a phrase used to describe something that is happening very slowly. Examples: the project has been progressing at a snail's pace. It seems to take forever. I had to wait in line at a snail's pace. It took ages to get served. We've been working on the project at a snail's pace. It's taking too long. One-horse town. Meaning: a phrase used to describe a small, rural town with little activity or development. Examples: we drove through a one-horse town on the way to the city. Growing up in a one-horse town was boring. There wasn't much to do. I love visiting my grandparents in their one-horse town. It's so peaceful and quiet. A cash cow. Meaning: a phrase used to describe a business or investment that is reliable and brings in a lot of money. Examples: his business is a cash cow. It never fails to make money. The company has several cash cows that help to keep it afloat. Investing in real estate was a great idea. It's been a real cash cow. Up to the minute. Meaning: a phrase meaning to be the most recent or current. Examples: we need up-to-the-minute information about the market. His website provides up-to-the-minute news on the industry. We need up-to-the-minute data to make sure our decision is the right one. Lose the plot. Meaning: a phrase used to describe someone who is behaving erratically or irrationally. Examples: she seemed to be losing the plot. She was saying things that didn't make any sense. He was losing the plot. He just kept repeating himself over and over. I think he's lost the plot. He can't seem to understand what I'm saying. Battle of wills. Meaning: a phrase used to describe a conflict between two people or groups who are both determined to have their own way. Examples: we were locked in a battle of wills. Neither of us wanted to give in. It was a battle of wills. They both insisted on having their own way. Their argument quickly turned into a battle of wills. Neither of them wanted to back down. Sugar the pill. Meaning: a phrase meaning to make something unpleasant seem more palatable or acceptable. Examples: she tried to sugar the pill by offering a free gift. He tried to sugar the pill, but it didn't work. No one was happy about the news. We tried to sugar the pill, but it was still a difficult decision to make. Simplicity itself. Meaning. A phrase used to describe something that is very easy to understand or do. Examples. The instructions were simplicity itself, even a child could understand them. The recipe was simplicity itself, it only took a few minutes to make. The instructions were simplicity itself, it was so easy to follow them. Gone with the wind. Meaning. A phrase meaning to pass quickly or disappear rapidly. Examples. The money was gone with the wind, he never saw it again. His time in the spotlight was gone with the wind, it was all over in a few weeks. His fame was gone with the wind, he was quickly forgotten. Strike, or hit, the right note. Meaning. A phrase meaning to say or do something that is appropriate or fitting. Examples. He struck the right note when he made the apology, everyone was impressed. She hit the right note with her speech, the audience was captivated. He always seems to strike the right note, he always knows what to say. Today's idioms were: like greased lightning, a stitherum, take offline, be as good as your word, a soft spot, winning ways, bite someone's head off, Shanks Pony, learn to walk before you run, stick in one's throat, turn a deaf ear, go over your head, at a snail's pace, one-horse town, a cash cow, up to the minute, lose the plot, battle of wills, sugar the pill, simplicity itself, gone with the wind, strike or hit the right note.